Hey up lads and lasses, Damfire here, back again with some more GR2 content for you today. So we got another update, another patch, all that good stuff. It's not in the notices in game, so hence straight into this screen rather than onto the main page. But I do know most of them, so we're going to go through. We're going to have a look at the events first, and the new captains are in, and then we'll go about the patch change and some little more balance updates that we've got, which are really, really good. So, the one balance update anyway. Let's jump into it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Helps me out, helps the channel out. Can't forget that. And so we got the lucky wheel, which again, it's not one of the best ones. It's not the absolute worst, in my opinion. The one where you have the map and you have to unlock loads of stuff, that's potentially the worst, trying to get the top rewards. Although it's actually quite good for other lower tier rewards. This one though is sort of in the middle. You get a bit of good stuff and some crap. So we have the Red Dragon. Now the Red Dragon is one of the better carriers in the game. Not specifically built as a carrier. It's quite good with some missiles and some Gauss rifles on here. And that's due to the fact that it has bonuses to the same bonuses that the monsters have, which is the increased damage when it's hitting on the flank and the rear of an enemy ship. So it's quite a nice little damage buff. Other than that, we can actually have a quick look at the ship in here so I can show this stuff, not notice. Go to shipbuilding, pirates, and the carrier. So yeah, here we go, 36% extra damage when hitting the battleship stern and flanks. And we get the durability above 64%, increases damage by 32%, makes a really powerful alpha hit with this. Also, wing carriers aren't the main priority of your enemies in PvP. This thing can get an extra lot of damage out, and it's quite nice. In tacticals, it normally drops this buff quite quick, because it's quite often, if you've only got the one carrier, it's the main target of the enemy, and they will go for it. Also has invalidates the first 28 damage received. So this includes massive torps. If a big dustmaker hits it and it's dropped its shield, that first hit, and if it's a torp like that, ignores the damage completely, which is pretty ludicrous. So it's a nice counter to the big alpha fleets you occasionally see that are running 4 dustmakers and 4 honeycomb tacticals and that kind of thing, where they're trying to just get as much damage out within the first couple of seconds to try and kill a ship. It's a nice little counter to be able to deal with that. So it is a pretty decent ship. I quite like the Red Dragon. I don't like how it looks. I think it looks horrible, but it's a good ship. Other than that, so Red Dragon comms all up at the top, which is quite cool. We can get a mid-core device there. If you're free to play, this is kind of useful if you're trying to get that gold upgrades on some of your weapons. Tiger Shark Torps, unfortunately not as good as originally anticipated compared to, say, Nanos and HE, and, well, pretty much all the other torpedoes. Even the anti-ship ones are better. We get Fell Hunters, which I actually quite like. I like the Fell Hunter. I think it's one of the best looking ship in the game. And it's really interesting to play with. I've seen a build that can kill a monster, just due to the fact that the monster can't catch it, so it just keeps out of range with its lasers, with decons and stuff like that. And yeah, it's quite a bit of fun. Extra rewards down here is the church. I'm not sure if this is correct or not. It would make more sense to me if it was a Fell Hunter. Maybe they forgot to update it. Oh, they've updated that one. Interesting. Maybe I'll point out this to the devs. This should probably be a Fell Hunter if you're giving the Red Dragon away and not a church. Either way, not a bad selection here. The Red Dragons are quite nice, so if you are going to stick some cash down into the game and get a Red Dragon, it's not a bad way to go. And yeah. Other than that, we have a shop with this event, which makes it slightly better. Got Commander Stamina boxes, really good for newer players that are just started out and haven't hit level 70. You can grab these to help you buff yourself up a little bit, get more XP, get to those higher levels a little bit quicker. We have a Lunar Eclipse. This is the one that decreases EM resistances. Now, the way that this decrease works is it's taken before all of the resistances are applied to the ship. So it works out that this minus 15% isn't actually really minus 15%, and it's not as good. Damage-wise, it's not too bad. I believe the Shadow still out-damages if you are looking for just pure EM damage, though. One or two maybe on a carrier if you're running a lot of Shadows is not a bad idea, though. Krypton tickets are always nice. Recruitment's always nice. Subsystem converters are quite good if you're looking for those god rolls on your subsystems. We have the R&D material box, also pretty good for newer players. Later on, you don't have too much problems with the R&D mats of this level, and you can just go in and grab them pretty quick. And most of the time, you're looking at going from T2 to T3 rather than T1 to T2 still. Still useful, though, if you're building out second fleets, etc., etc. Secret parts, this is to open more lucky wheels, development accelerators, speed up your acceleration by 30 minutes, which is not bad. And pre-shaped crystal boxes for more crystals. This is also going to be pretty useful on new accounts, as this will help you boost up a little bit quicker. Star coin boxes are okay. We also have resource reserve. This is if you're spending your krypton, you'll get these rewards, and these rewards are more secret parts that you can use for... I don't know why the icon looks like Thor's hammer, and that's like Thor's hammer on a shield. Either way, these are used for more rolls in the lucky wheel. So not bad there, and they give some krypton back and stuff. And the nice gift boxes and decent gift boxes are semi-useful depending on the situation that you're in, if you're looking to max out plenty of captains, that is. Welfare activity, again, for the pay-to-win players. You've got Blackbeard Layla in here. Plenty of boxes to go around as well. Mid shields are not bad. Loads of these decent device gift boxes for more favor, and some advanced SP units and stuff like that, which are also fairly useful. Not a bad event so far. And Scarlet Rose is the prob up. SSR Blackbeard Layla and Killer Robbie. Now, Killer Robbie I don't personally rate all that much. This is due to the fact that she's only really usable on frigates and to an extent destroyers. On bigger ships, she's not so good. She boosts damage to her ship when she is using a transition device or a thruster. This makes her semi-useful in certain situations, but most of the time she's not a top-tier captain, so I'm not going to recommend grabbing her. Blackbeard Layla, on the other hand, is a very, very powerful captain, especially early on. She does require some micro. She's not on the par of Jim, for example, or even to that extent, so maybe Vincent. But she is very powerful in her own right. So, when there are no allies nearby, self-attack and damage reduction are increased by 12% when destroying enemy units. She gets 50% durability restored. The durability restored when destroying enemy units is not affected by the allies, but it does mean she needs to get the last hit on an enemy to trigger this durability. To trigger the self-attack and the damage reduction, she needs to be away from the rest of your fleet. This can put her in a precarious situation where she'll get swamped by the enemy fleet, and that's not a good situation. Even with the damage reduction, she will die very quickly in that circumstance. However, if you can micro her a little bit, just keep her just off the edge of your fleet, it's very, very strong, and you can stop her from, well, you can keep her damage up and her damage reduction up, and that's obviously quite useful. The damage increase and damage reduction are noticeable, especially when she's maxed out star rank, and she's definitely pretty good. That's about it for the event and the update bar. We have now got to talk about the shiny new little buff that came into the game. And this really does change up things quite a bit. Missiles and torpedoes now have 999 open times. This means they do not run out of ammo anymore. They can fire as much as projectiles and lasers. This puts them in a position after the recent buff where the damage was increased on into a very, very viable situation where these fogs and other ships, you can run missiles on them now. You can get these buffs that the fogs are giving from their subsystems and makes them fairly viable. They won't be damage, well, they won't have the damage on par with, say, a monster or anything like that, but it means that you can take these into things like Wolf now and Tactical, and you won't have to run out of ammo on them. You can run Jim on them if you wanted to now, and they will be able to dish out all of their potential damage before they die, rather than before where they would run out of ammo, stop firing because they got no shots left, and be pretty much totally useless in that situation. The biggest change and the biggest benefit of this is the EPOS. Now, the EPOS's one of its major flaws was the fact that you ran out of shots far too quickly. I don't currently have an EPOS, and I don't actually have one built. I will be trying to build one now, and this is due to the fact that with Torps being 999 shots, it can dish out so much damage. It's the one ship that I think is on par with a monster, or maybe just slightly below a monster, but its alpha strike is higher. Its initial alpha or burst alpha that you can get off an EPOS is higher than a monster's, but its DPS is slightly lower. So over a longer period of time, the monster will outwin, but that initial hit, the EPOS can outdamage. There's still got the problem with torpedoes being able to miss fast targets, so bear that in mind because that might cause issues. But with the new, the old lasers being able to, the tractor rays being able to go up to T3, you could potentially situate your EPOS with a support ship with these lasers on to slow the enemy ship down and allow your EPOS to just unleash unrealistic amounts of damage very, very rapidly on an enemy. So that's about it for this update. We've got new event, which we went through. We got the new captains, which are quite cool. And yeah, the extra ammo for the missiles and torps puts them back up into a situation where the balance between the weapons is almost to a negligible degree, especially torpedoes and versus the projectiles. That brings torps up to a degree where they can actually really do stuff now. So yeah, really cool, really good. It's great to know that the devs are listening to us and are, well, patching the game up, etc. And hopefully more balances to look forward to in the future. Anyway, guys, again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys next time.